Who hasn't read in the window before? Okay, there's a weird phenomenon where it sounds like they can't hear you, but apparently you can.
Oh, okay.
Don't worry.
Okay.
It works. You ready? Yeah. Buenas noches, familia. What's happening?
Buenas noches.
Welcome to yet another edition of Poetry in the Window. Yeah, this is a semi-monthly, semi-regular event that we do every once in a while. And it's regular because it happens. It happens here on 24th. Last time we were here, it was like a month ago. No, it was a little over a month. Because we were all really happy because y'all recall with Burning Man happened, all the white people left. So it was a beautiful thing. That was the last time we was here. No white people on Calle 24. It was nice. But now we live in modern times. But yeah, so what we're doing tonight though, this particular evening, the poets in the window are all part of this Chingon Anthology. Super Nightmares Anthology coming out in 2 weeks. Get your copy here. But tonight, I don't know how we've assembled such a Chingon group of people. I'm worried that the fucking windows are gonna break from the Chingonismo that's gonna be up here tonight. For real. But real quickly, I want to say that this series is part of a long literary tradition of Calle 24 of poets reading to the street. This street here in San Pancho is the most living street in the city. And part of it, yeah, it's true. Right, Kevin? It's true. So part of this reading, part of this poesia, part of this talking in the street is kind of keeping that tradition alive. One time, the U.S. poet, the first U.S. poet laureate, the first U.S. Latino poet laureate, called the bookstore and said something to me that was very special. What we're going to do tonight is have Fresno's own poet laureate come up here and do an imitation of Juan Felipe Herrera telling me what he thought of the poetry on Calle 24. Familia, give it up for Joseph Rios.
Awesome. Yeah, so, it was a long time ago. I used to be a poet out here on 24th Street. I used to be in Victor Martinez, Francisco Aragón, and we used to blow poems. Just blow poems, you know, used to blow them here, we go there. Sometimes they were on Mission Street, sometimes they go to Valencia, they would just go across the bay, all the way to Sacramento, all the way to Fresno, and San Diego. We just blow them, just blow poems. Thank you.
Yeah! Joseph Rios, y'all. That's why he's fucking Fresno Poet Laureate. That's why.
Right there.
You do Juan Felipe Herrera better than Juan Felipe Herrera. You hold that, man. I'm baffled by that. That's amazing. I love that shit. Okay. So y'all ready for the first poet of the evening? Yes? Are we ready? Perhaps you've seen this poet's face on the new issue of the East Bay Express.
Front page?
You can carve yourself on Mount Rushmore kind of face. This is a real thing right here, y'all. We're setting a high bar. This is the fifth poetic element us mere mortals know as meaningless. Woo!
Tonight there will be no Mimi Tempestt poems, only Wanda Coleman poems from Immigrants.
Hey.
Dear Mama too. She says that's what Mama's for. You don't know, or maybe you do, time you couldn't buy us shoes and ask Grandpa for money. He sent you $1. I remember your eyes scanning the letter, the tears you got us shoes somehow, by the good grace of a friend. Maybe you are hip in your old-fashioned Oklahoma course-spun way, or the time we sat in the dark with no electricity eating peaches and cold toast. wondering where you'd gone to get the money for life. Grandma named you Luana. It sounds Hawaiian. Not that bastard mix of white, black, and red you are. Not that bitter cast of Negro stage to play to rowdy crowds on to off-Broadway of American porn. And she added May to make it sound country. Like Jemima or Butterfly McQueen or Bobby Joe. It's you. And you named us and fed us, and I can't love you enough for it. You don't know, or maybe you do, it hurts being a grown working black woman, branded strong. Hurts being unable to get over in this filthy white world. Hurts to ask your parents for help. Hurts to swallow those old, beaten, broad greenbacks whole. Hurts to know it'll hurt worse if you don't. Whew. Search of the mythology of Duwawa. The melodrama continues. We personifications of classic Greek, Roman, trashy history play a continuous bill. Nightly show in Nightly show in Hell Hades, featuring spades of every commingling variation. Sound trump of defeat as the laboring armies of Egypt retreat before the thundering chariots of corporate Roma, and Medea, fleeced by her common law husband, loads the Saturday night special, turns it on her children, then herself, free at last from poverty's grasp. Meanwhile, Echo overdoses on Seconal, while pimp Narcissus cruises avenues in search of fresh meat and bigger mirrors. How many falls from successes, skyscrapers, must Icarus take before he learns that all the wax and feathers of a high school's miseducation will net him in a spot on the sidewalk? Pandora's box is a festering place for venereal disease, tricks, and a boon to abortion clinics. Apollo's sun was permanently eclipsed by the television network. Hatchet boys who are tired of the niggas' antics. Morning does indeed become Electras, whose brother's heroin habit was paid by the ripping off their parents' home and sisters' Antigone. Pickets Creon, the police commissioner, vainly charging brutal tactics against her brothers and sisters of skin and economic plight, while Oedipus, spawn of the greedy plantation of Civil War America, slays his white father and covets his black mother, and Sisyphus, worship of blue-eyed Jesus, perpetually rolls his burdensome boulder of fate up the precipice of white humanity. While Vulcan, in the sweltering pit of his ghetto, discovers department stores are flammable. Alas, Ulysses set sail, revolutionary expatriate journey round the world to escape oppression, returns years later to declare, America ain't so bad after all. And Black Orpheus, the painter, poet, musician, dreamer, turns back to find fame and immortality. The vanished Eurydice of Caesars die prematurely under the daggers of superstition. Envious traitors Toms lead by a sincere but deluded Brutus. The fault, dear black fellows, is not in our astrology charts, but in our society that we run under. Woo. Come on. It's weird when you read like another poet's words. It just does it. Ooh, damn! I heard that one. It's weird when you read another poet's words. It doesn't sit in your mouth the way it usually does. But hey, good mama. I've tried so hard to be good. Looking at these good years, good to people, good to you, true and blue to my ideals. Good mama, do you hear me? So motherfucking good. Good cook, good mother, good poet, good sister, good friend, good love. Remember everybody's birthdays and send cards and call every now and then, or drop a line to let them know I care. Good mornings, good nights. Try to please and help and aid, and good mama, be responsible to God the Father, my country, and help my poor enslaved people. Good mama, so fucking good. Outgood all the rest. Oh, so damnable good. Good to death. Thank you.
Give it up, familia, for Mimi Tempestt. Mimi's book. Why is it so tall? This is like Congo size. Okay. Mimi's book, The Delicacy of Embracing Spirals, put out by City Lights. If you don't have this, you should. There's something wrong with you if you don't have this. Yeah? For real. This, yeah. Wait, and then where are you reading next, Mimi?
I'm going to New York next Friday. Yeah, I'll be in Brooklyn.
Okay. Everyone go to Brooklyn. For real. Okay, up next. Aw, look. This poet has a book too. Hella Mexican. This one is always good here. He's not only is he cute, I'm telling you there's a catch. Familia, give it up for the one and only Kevin Madrigal Galindo.
I wish it was a more interesting catch than I'm just a toxic dude. I'm just kidding. But really though, like, gotta acknowledge the toxicity that exists in order to like take the next step. Real quick, fuck Israel, free Palestine. There's a difference between people that have to kill for land that isn't theirs, and people who die staying on their land. That's not complicated. It's not complicated. I'm gonna read 2 poems. This one's called There's Dinosaur Dust on the Moon. I wonder what dinosaurs thought when they looked up and saw the moon. Did they think it was a second sun? A fruit out of reach, a stone stuck in space? I wonder if dinosaurs ever looked up, saw a clear night sky and wondered, hey, where'd that thing go? Was I the only one that saw it? Will it ever be back? I wonder what dinosaurs actually sound like. Did they shout? Did they whisper? Did they ever sing to the moon? I wonder if dinosaurs ever looked at the big crater-stamped glow and wished they could go there someday. My friend Jordan says it took 1/4 of a second for the asteroid to travel from the outer edge of Earth's atmosphere to the surface where it struck. The asteroid was 6 miles wide, traveling at 12 miles per second. When it struck the Earth's surface, the top of the asteroid was still outside of Earth's atmosphere. The force of the asteroid was equivalent to 20 billion atomic bombs. Its impact created mile-high tsunamis and eventually caused the extinction of 75% of plant and animal species. The impact was so devastating, it launched bits of life in every direction, some back into outer space, escaping orbit, traveling all across the solar system. I wonder if the asteroid were any bigger, what our world would look like today. I wonder if the asteroid missed Earth, what the fate of dinosaurs would have been. I wonder if the only wish the universe can surely grant us is destruction. Thanks. I said I was going to read 2 poems. I might read 3. I have a petty poem. I will. This is
Petty.
I'm gonna read a quick one. This one's in Foglifter, the most recent edition of Foglifter. Buy a copy. I don't know if they have them here, but support them. They're dope. They're local. This is We Fight Back, or Salsa de Molcajete. Famished, we spend days, nights, and pain roaming the desert plains. Mi gente are a people of pride. Throw violent walls in our face. See how our chins rise. We take aim and fight back with mortar and pestle. Salsa de molcajete, conjured in cauldron of ancient volcanic rock, stronger than any facade you could fathom. We roast ajo, chile, and jitomate with familia del otro lado in our hearts. May the day they arrive, we make this foreign place taste a little like home. All right, this piece. This is the petty-ish piece. Yeah, I'm not gonna. It's called Ghost message. Hey, redacted name. Sorry for the late response. The past few days have been hectic, and things are finally settling down for me. I really enjoyed doing redacted activity with you and getting to know you over redacted beverage, but at least right now, I don't want to continue dating. After doing a redacted white savior retreat over the weekend, I realized that our chakras just aren't compatible. Plus, I'm a fixed water sign and you're a fixed air sign. And to be completely honest, the fact you haven't said anything about the ongoing genocides in Palestine, Congo, and Sudan and the rest of the world made me really upset. Okay, to be for real too, you're a manager at Redacted Big Tech Company and didn't offer to pay for any of the redacted beverages we shared, which is kinda a red flag for me. Sorry if this text comes off as weird or unnecessary. I'm just trying to be more communicative and not a ghost. Plus, I want closure, and I want to feel good. So yeah, thank you for your time and good luck in your life. Sincerely, the dude you hooked up with once.
Give it up for Kevin Madrigal. They're telling us his terrible relationship stories. That sounded awful. Did that really happen to you? Is this like one of those cases where it's like it's me, but it's like fiction? Because that's you people in your dating habits these days. We used to just go to a bar, just buy someone a drink, and then see what happens. Now you gotta redact shit. It's awful. Y'all, Kevin's book, Hella Mexican. Get it. And then, are you ready for the next poet?
Yeah.
For real? Yes, you are ready for the next poet. Okay. This poet has a book too, and it makes me blush, the poems in here. They're beautiful and revolutionary and hella Chicanx. And in a way that just feels so familiar and good. It's always a blessing to have him read here in the store. So, familia, por favorcito, give it up for Lourdes Figueroa.
Buenas noches. Good evening. So good to be with you guys. Oh my God. This is all family. I'm just going to say thank you, Tan and Josiah, and all of you for this portal and todo el amor que nos dan. So, this is the whole point. Hoy me escondí bajo el humo y me fijé en los fragmentos, nuestros preciosos fragmentos, hechos de células que hacen sangre y músculo. Me escondí buscándote. Me topé con el tiempo que se olvida, y el polvo de nosotros, polvo que es arena que ha sido volteada, torturada, en ser y luego echada. Y le pregunté a mi corazón, ¿quién es el polvo? ¿Cómo fuimos? ¿Cómo somos? ¿A dónde vamos? Todas mis esperanzas en mi boca, en mi garganta, en tus cuerpos. Todas las palabras, un puño de polvo. I want to kiss your mouth, go down on you like every other lesbian who has loved you in secret. Tell you I love you. That you are in my thoughts when you are not with me. And I bite my tongue hard when I feel your sweat on my cheek when you greet me. It is true that I feel that I'm in one of those old lesbian love stories. That if I were to tell you this would end,
All of it might end. Cuerpo criatura, I tripped over the line of this long verse, wrapped my body around the milpa. I meant to kiss your mouth. I don't know how it happened. It must have happened for it to happen. How do you read into body gestures from 1,000 years ago? Buried bodies of children, a face pointing towards the glow of a moon, an attempt to kiss, missing the lips, the flick of a finger, the wiggle of shoulders, my hand slipping through your armpit, subtle, whispered movements, reaching out through moments of a limb or two, coming together. I keep trying to hear the unsaid fragment that sounded right before they massacred the dreamers. Even though I'm still trying to catch the tune that played at Lake Berryessa 3 days ago through the mouth of a little brown girl singing, Jugaremos en el bosque mientras el lobo no está. It must have been a symphony of sorts. I'd given up on being sober around you just in case I trapped the sound and howl por las lobas. And if I catch it, I wouldn't know how to repeat it with your throat. Maybe my stubbornness is that I want these words to feel good in our mouths, even if we never know them. The thing is, there was a time warp, and within that time warp, I was able to reach into the now empty chest of a now white boy, giving away her breath. She lay there thinking she was still alive as her heart beat outside her body, her brown warm skin shining like gold, reflecting the jaws of the full moon. I bent down, kissed her mouth. Y algún cuerpo down the steps from the altar kept saying across fire-lit faces, the kiss, the kiss, the kiss meant nothing. Todo el día he estado pensando sobre la pregunta entre tus labios y cómo tus labios formaron la pregunta hacia mí. I keep burning all my letters to Quetzalcoatl in my museum, hoping to relocate the transcending throat. Toda una O como el número cero, asking for the buzz of a bee in exchange for all the lives we thought we had lived. Cuerpos mudos sin cesar, like cascade, smoothing stone, silhouette-shaped tongue. There's a grief in her body that she cannot label, a grief shooting like lightning in the synapses of her belly. Utero infinitud, illicit tongue that seeks none of what seems real, the most humble of all the gods. None of what scene that kisses your darkest parts, where you have hurt everyone else. And with every kiss, warm lips on chest, on earlobes, slick lengua en nuestro paladar, dando vuelta para decirte, I will always kiss the darkest parts of your thoughts. Thank you.
Give it up, familia, for Lourdes Figueroa. Lourdes, is that the part of the work that's being translated next year?
Yeah, that's for us.
Yes. Lourdes is being translated into Spanish next year by a publishing company in Monterrey, Mexico.
Yeah, and you too.
Yeah, they threw me in too. They're like, Lourdes was like, if I get, you gotta take him. I know who got me through. Okay, familia. Next up, next poet. Y'all ready for the next poet? How good is it feel to have Taqueria Vallarta's open again, right? Come on, look at that. Look at that. We get atole, we get the tacos. So good. So feels so good. We miss that shit. Neon's back. The neighbors have to cover their windows. It's okay. Shit. It's okay. It's okay. So, next up, a poet that is known as the Terremota, and I do not say that lightly. They do not have a book, but they will soon, hopefully. And when we can hardly wait for it to come out. Give it up, familia, for Hillary Cruz Mejia.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I think so. Well, thank you so much to Tan and Josiah, honestly, for the portal. I found it just a year, 2 years ago, I think, and it's just been really, really sweet how I have found, many things just walking around the mission too, and then coming here to just put those emotions down and shit like that. The mission was one of the first places my mom brought me to, like, the touristic places when I came to the States. And so, now just being here and walking around and being part of this portal, it's just very beautiful for me, so thank you. So a lot of things going on, y'all. And last time I read this poem here, and I just think it makes sense to read it again. As if revolution is made of battles. Waco how we expected from a nation that was built from the labor of our ancestors that were enslaved, killed, raped. From a land that began to be exploited, then turned into a terrorist, justifying its decisions in acts against the Western, favoreciendo the sexism, aromatizando power constructed in racism. Woo! The next dead is one of us. What could have we expected from a white supremacist nation that protects its Confederate children but kills black and brown people and black and brown children and gives aid to the systematic destruction of Palestinians' right of existence? The next dead is one of us. Never do we blame the system, never do we question the system, never do we dismantle the system, blame the system, question the system, dismantle the system. What could I have expected from the hands of a country that provided aid to the genocide of the Mayan and Ixil people in Guatemala? The next dead is one of us. Dreams no longer come true, hope lives en las calles hechas de cemento. Dreams no longer come true, hate lives en las calles hechas de sufrimiento. Dreams no longer come true, my eyes te cuestionan si es mejor vivir aquí que allá. Dreams no longer come true if you don't recognize that gentrification is the neoliberal reform of a stolen land, that you are standing on a stolen land. Dreams no longer come true if our people can no longer sell their goods in front of the 24th Street bar station. Dreams no longer come true if the Wymont and Cruz self-driving car serves as surveillance, as police surveillance of our neighborhoods. Dreams no longer come true if the next therapy store opens next to the Señora in 16th Street and Valencia Street, selling chaquetas hechas por manos que sobreviven en tierras de pueblos dignos, en la falsa idea de una Latinoamérica. Dreams just don't come true if our people don't stand and fight back to oppressive peace rallies condenando our existence in a question of who deserves to survive. A dream cannot be true if the dream extracts land resources and packages in coughs at the lungs of its romanticized America.
Woo!
Funny enough, the señora told me chaqueta is not there anymore. I'm gonna leave you with this other poem. This is not mine. This is a poem from Maya Chinchilla. And yay. And I just read it and I liked it. I mean, I didn't just read it. Whatever. I don't know what I meant. What it's like to be a Central American unicorn for those who aren't. First of all, I am a mythical creature that is only mentioned, if at all, in relation to war, trauma, maras, revolutions, earthquakes, canals, and volcanoes. Indians kidnapped by aliens, and the Guatemalan maids as your punchline, caring for your children so you don't have to, has her own story to tell. What happens if I never mention these things? Am I contributing to the loss, the silence, the erased lines, the gaps in historical memory, the opportunity for reconciliation to make amends?
What if I never mentioned pupusas or my grandmother's pepian, black beans and rice, or a quesadilla that's a cheesy bread, not a tortilla with melted cheese, or the million ways to fry plátano, or Honduran baleadas, which have yet to try? What if I tell you that I am usually the only one of my kind? What if I make up what it means to be Guatemalan-America? No one in the room will be able to call me a liar. What if I swear to all that is unholy that if one more person shares that they went to study Spanish in Guatemala and backpacked through the highlands without ever mentioning massacres, Mayans, the Quiche, the Man, the Xil, Cachiquel, yes, modern day Mayas, not kidnapped by aliens. The absence of that is Ladino, plus the Garifuna, the Mezquito, Pipi, Lenca, no mysterious civilizations disappear. Yes, thank you for knowing how they invented the zero. And no, the world didn't stop in 2012. I don't want to hear about your trip unless you are fundraising to get me and the diaspora back on a regular basis. What if I tell you I don't speak any indigenous languages? Except for the remnants of words that have crept into the Spanish I relearned in high school when I went to Guate that summer. That my family denies any indigenous ancestry through DNA and memories say different. That we are an urban people who value engineering degrees above all us. That I haven't been back in 10 years. That there are silent words among cousins and aunts and uncles, Catholics versus Protestants, atheists versus atheists, cremas versus rojos, disjunctive conversations of over here from over there and over there from over here, and I can't go back over there in the same way anymore. I can't go back there. Over there doesn't exist anymore. So I pack my Central America paranoia that taught me everyone is shady until proven otherwise. Don't sit with your back to the door. Don't count money in public. Leave your shoes next to the bed in case you have to run in the night. Remember, walls have ears. Mixing grains of sand from an imaginary homeland, file them in a plastic file box, right off to the next adventure, leave a trail of glitter that smells of copal, banana leaves, with burning stuff and moist green earth, so that the other magical creatures may find me. Thank you, y'all.
No, she doesn't. We don't have to wait.
Give it up for Hillary Cruz Mejia. Keep your eyes out for their new book. Coming out soon. Coming out real soon, right?
I am not a committed poet.
Damn. Right, we're gonna work something out on that. For real, y'all. Yeah, so this is Poetry in the Window. Happens semi-regularly. You never know when, but it happens semi-regularly. You've been in the window before, right, Kevin? So with Hillary. This is a testament. This shit happens, just not regular, but it happens. Always. We're on time. Yeah, so also, hey, if you like poetry, híjole, this weekend is going to be fucking crazy. Sábado, Anthony Cody, Maya Dervang, Big Fresno Energy coming through, and then also Sean Webster. They're going to be here Saturday. And then Sunday, the former Poet Laureate of Philadelphia, none other than Roque. Mira, hola, niños. Hola. Hello. Hi.
Hola.
Hola. Oh, hello. Good. Interaction. No, what was I saying? So the former Poet Laureate of Philly. Look at all the Poet Laureates coming through. We got Fresno, Philly. Who else? Kimi Sugaoki, Alameda Poet Laureate. They ain't here, but you know. Anyway, so Raquel Salas Rivera going to be here on Sunday with Tia Sad Eyes themselves, Angel Dominguez. Tatiana Lubeveski Acosta will be here recovering from COVID. They're going to do a stand-up comedy set. The poetry thing, so that shit's going to be funny as hell, because, you know, poets are funny as fuck. Yeah, it's true. Speaking of funny as fuck poets, Coming up next is a poet whose book we normally have in the store, but it keeps selling. That people actually buy this person's poetry book. It's not like a free jazz album, they buy it. As a matter of fact, sometimes people try and buy it from me, and we only have one copy in the store, and I don't let them buy it. I put it back on the shelf. I've done this twice, Sarah. Yeah. So this is if you don't have the book because I won't sell it to you, here's your chance to hear the poet in real life. Familia, one of the most chingonas to ever do this thing. Give it up for Sarah Borjas.
Hey everyone.
Hey, what's up?
I'm going to read a poem from the zine that's going to be available on December 16th.
It's already available.
Promo.
Woo.
This poem is called Decolonialish To-Dos. I create to-do lists on stolen land. I read an essay about white fragility on embezzled land. I respond to department emails on laundered land. I scramble egg whites on devoured land. I wash my bed sheets on violated land. I Google vegan recipes on stolen land. I research native dishes for Thanksgiving on plagiarized land. I'm doing my best on obliterated land. I read contemporary poems on kidnapped land. I drink my sweet-ass coffee on murdered land. I pay DMV renewal fees on abstracted land. I wear a new jacket on looted land. I hate my body on taken land. I brush and grind my teeth on pilfered land. I water the houseplants on ransacked land. I paint my nails blue on poached land. I buy my mom a DNA test for her birthday on violated land. I have good intentions on misappropriated land. I rinse squash and strawberries on limited land. I empty the recycling bin on eradicated land. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing on stolen land. I wipe dust from the windowsills on violated land. I want to do better on abducted land. I think maybe it's that I tried too much on stolen land. Yeah, I was like tripping. I was like, why is everything so fucked up? And I just try to get done during the day. I'm like, oh, because I'm on stolen land. And everything is like contextualized, like really hard to do. Yeah, so. So I'm on like a decolonialish trip. This other poem is also decolonialish. It's called Decolonialish Self-Portrait. I always think about like, like being pocha, like, okay, like not knowing Spanish, like not knowing all this colonizer shit, like that's cool, whatever, that's why I'm pocha. But like, there's like a whole layer of things I actually want to remember that I can never access. And it's just like an aimless search back, when you are colonized like that. So it's called Decolonial Self-Portrait. I remember myself, a chair turning, a desperate blue tunnel crossing the mirror in the lavender hour. I remember myself, a corner of sunlight on the bed sheet rotating of violence, words that die before meaning, relentless shredded threads. I remember myself, sky chained to torture, futurity chokes, an ancient throat melts in my posing. I remember myself, a swipe in the dust on my dresser, a drawer full of rotten Christian teeth.
Okay.
Yeah, I always end at Christianity. You know what I mean? I'm like, fuck, man, where else? Where was I before all this? I'll read 2 more poems. there's a documentary on Netflix about like, did you guys see this? It's like about Homo naledi, which is like a species before Homo sapiens that they found like deep in this cave, and they had to like super like travel really far and go all these places, but there was like almost like a burial site.
Yeah.
And so they're like, oh, like 40 million years before we thought, folks were ceremoniously burying their dead, and there's markings like to get down through all the cave, and also like it's hella dark, so they had fire, so they had to do all these things, and they found a bunch of bodies posed and buried with tools in their hands. So this is called Homo naledi. There's epigraph. No tools have yet to been found in the 2 cave chambers. What kinds of tools did Homo naledi make and use? And that's from the Smithsonian Museum of Natural History. Homo naledi placed a stone in their dead's hand to carve the next world, the sacred parts. I've acquired no daughters or money, no new ideas. And someone stole my Hyundai this past February in Oakland. I want to bear something beautiful, but I'm juggling 7 incomplete futures. A down payment for a house, marriage, knowing better but doing it anyways, a romantic admiration for women, DEI committees, who my mother might have lived to become had I stayed inside. I reach for a future and end up with my grip on a centuries-old wound, what lives in the back of my heart, fine, sharp stone, my delicate, decolonial tool. Do you ever wonder if free and lost are the same disconnection? What can I hold in this life to stay sacred, to matter, even if I spend it fighting dogma that promises I don't? I want the oppressors to find my body and be reminded I was never scared to sleep, that I loved my struggle and managed to still get my nails done, having felt cute and died before deleting. I want my hopelessness and coloniality, my amusement with the temporary power of white people and men, riddled throughout my tireless, clutching hands. I want the colonizers mystified at how I dug with rubble this far. I want them to grow sick from studying me.
Yes. Woo!
Hell yeah.
And I'll read one more. It's a little triggering. Sorry, not sorry. It's called Palestine is showing us that decolonization is not abstract. Nothing I could say reminds me we are sacred, except when I think about the extents they've gone to kill us. I recall a jar of ears collected of those caught speaking our language, or how conquistadors threaded children's ears they sliced from their heads and then forced their mother to wear around their necks. Maybe I could recall my ancestors being raped with the neck of a rifle, their nostrils and eyes packing with dirt and pebbles from the thrust of a gun. Maybe I could remind you, reader, that they sold our sons, and by doing so, erased our hearts. Maybe I could maim our children when we get too desperate to comply and call it an accident. In the face of such dehumanization, nothing could save us from who we will become. And I can't stop becoming. I am understanding. I understand. My dignity doesn't mean anything when I've already lost my family, my land. When I have no future, I'm not ready to also lose. Lately, at night, I lie awake, dreaming the desperation of a teen avenging his entire family who were murdered asleep while taking shelter in front of a collapsing hospital on a few feet of dirt. We are flying over a fence in a paraglider with our mother's school photo strapped over our heart. We are crying above the earth for our mothers. We are crying for life. Thank you all. Thanks for having me.
Give it up one more time for Sarah Borjas, por favor. Okay, familia, that's it. You got a taste of the poets in the anthology. You got to come back on the 16th. Is it the 16th? It's happening on the 16th, right?
Yeah, 16th.
2-year anniversary Pachanga, the bookstore. The Portales will be available then. And a bunch of the other poets that are in there are going to read as well. I think all the poets tonight are going to read too, I think we're lucky.
Yeah.
It's going to be beautiful. Where's Mimi? Did Mimi leave? Mimi go, Mimi? There she is. Okay. Say gracias to all the poets tonight. Mimi Tempestt. Kevin Madrigal Galindo. Lourdes Figueroa. Hillary Cruz Mejia. Sarah Borjas. Special shout out to Joseph Rios for the Juan Felipe Herrera imitation. So good. Okay, familia. And remember, this is part of a mission tradition, man. We read poetry to the streets. We read poetry to Calle 24. The sidewalk that you walk on has poems in it. So remember that when you stroll down the street, okay? Aquí estamos y no nos vamos.